Hi friends, it's Marie. In this tutorial, we are going to show you how to make these iced sugar cookies. These little darlings would be so great for a Valentine's card, a refrigerator magnet, a magnet that serves as a Valentine's card, maybe a pin, brooch, or you could even dangle them somewhere to brighten a room. This is a great beginner project. We are going to needle felt these hearts. You could use our template guides or even some cookie cutters. We're going to give them dimension. We're going to ice them, and you'll even get to play with shadows and highlights to bring them to life and make them look almost edible. These are so fun to make. Everyone is going to look unique and different. You can get everything you need in our kit or shop the supplies via the link below. Here's a quick look at the wool we'll be using to make our iced sugar cookies. This is a variety of colors in MC1 batting and a pinch of CX2. To get all of the colors, you can grab our kit or shop a la carte on the supplies page. Needle felting these cookies is super easy. All you'll need is a pad. This is our 12 by 12 wow mat. I'm using a 42 triangle, a 38 star spiral, and our brand new Poquito tool loaded with unpainted 42 triangles. 3 needles in this tool. You can use our PDF to get your heart templates. I'm going to cut mine out of cardstock, or you could grab these nested cookie cutter hearts and use those instead. We start with the color caramel. I'm pulling off 3 to 4 grams for each base cookie. Tear off a square that is larger than the hearts. We're going to tear off the excess, but don't be afraid to leave at least a ½ inch around that border. Hold the fiber down, pull it off, and we're going to use that border to beef up the shape, the sides of the heart. So using your cardstock guide, put it right on top and coax all that external fiber in towards the shape of the heart. This is going to help give it density, which will help give you firmness and a great base cookie to needle felt on top of. We'll start first by flattening it all down. You can use the needles of your choice, whether they're fine or medium, and you can even use a little tool. Compact the middle, needle felt, needle felt, needle felt, flatten it down. And then once I get the basic shape of the heart going and that fluffy wool from the edges coaxed in, I like to use 2 of the cardstock hearts to sandwich the fiber in between. What you'll do is a series of rotations from needle felting into the sides of the heart to get it formed into that shape, and then needle felting it flat on your mat, getting everything compacted, and then back into the hearts and back on your mat. You will turn that heart upside down and right side up over and over until you can needle felt it from top and bottom and all the sides and get a nice density. Continue using your heart cutouts as a guide to help you refine the shape and firm it all up. Before we put our icing on, we want our heart well needle felted and nice and smooth. An alternate solution for getting your heart shapes knocked out even more quickly and with a little more confidence is to use something like these nested heart cookie cutters. These shapes have nice high walls and they're very easy to work with. I like to just fill the heart with the fiber and needle felt right into it. I always start with my fine felting needle and begin compacting the fiber somewhat in the middle, but mostly I concentrate around the edges first. The key to working with a cookie cutter is to keep your needle below the rim at all times. If you don't raise it too high, then you won't hit the rim and you won't bend or break your felting needle. The heart makes this go more quickly because you have the sides to push up against, and it's just a very fast process. Once I get the basic heart fibers all laying down and underneath the rim of the cookie cutter shape, then I like to go in with my multi-needle tool. This is the new Poquito, which is the little brother to the Punch It tool. I love this thing. If you have seen me work with the rubber banded yellow needles, this is a substitute. I have been using it for months. The staff is falling in love with it too, so you can check this out. Once you have the base of your cookie well formed, just go around, smooth it out at least around the perimeter and around the edges. That will give us a great starting point for putting on our icing. To add our icing, I am going to work with our two pink colors. You have a lighter and a stronger pink in the kit, and we're going to make a blend. Just make a 50-50 blend. It can be a little swirly. Start with about as much as you see me here, and we're going to pile it on top to make icing. You can free form this and just stay about 1/4 inch inside the perimeter of your heart, or you can use a smaller cookie cutter or even cutout guide to start to form that shape. I do personally like to mound it on a little bit and make it somewhat thick, but not quite as thick as the cookie. For this step, our one goal is just to get a base foundation on top of which we'll put the rest of our icing. So just have fun with it and don't take it too seriously, but you do want to needle felt it so that it has some density if you want it to mound up. Just like we did with the base cookie, needle felt into the very side edges of the icing so that you build up a little shelf. Again, that's totally subjective. I like mine to be a little bit mounded and a little bit high, but if you want yours flat, you can just take care to detail those edges now. Now, some people might be happy with this topping right here. This icing might just look perfect for you, and if so, that's great. You can add any finishing touches or get it onto its final purpose if you want. But if you want to play with the highlighting and shading a little bit, we're going to do that now. With our base icing in place, now I like to add some shading to the cookie. So we're pretending that the light on this cookie is coming from the top left. So that means more shading is going to be to the right and the lower portions of the heart. For this, we're using Snickerdoodle as our darkest color on the cookie itself. Go ahead and put it right underneath the edge of your icing and just follow your own feeling or follow the inspiration images that are included with the kit. To add highlights to the top of the cookie, we are using honeysuckle mixed with a little bit of caramel, and you'll notice that as we're doing these shadings, we almost always start with a blend, and then you can go back with the pure color on its own or blend that pure color with the next lighter color in the pack or whatever you have to work with as well. So we're going to add honeysuckle with the caramel blend to this top left and even to the top second top of the heart. I don't even know what you call that section, but this is a mix of honeysuckle and caramel. As I work my way around, anywhere I think that it feels like it should be a little darker, I'm just going to add that touch of the Snickerdoodle there, and just find your way as you work your way around your cookie. To add a little more highlight, we are blending cotton with the honeysuckle, and you want to be minimal in your use of white, and that way when you do add it, it's really gonna punch. But use this little bit only for the lightest parts of your cookie rim. You'll notice that we're using our fine felting needle a lot, and when you do that, you're progressively compacting the fiber and you're making minimum what we call needle felting holes or marks. So using this finishing tool at this stage is actually the right thing to do. I love this for Valentine's. It gives me so many ideas. And if you're looking for more Valentine's projects, we do have some, like our fortune cookies would be a great thing to gift someone for Valentine's. We have some heart garlands and heart bead garlands and some other fun projects. We even made ourselves a Valentine one year. So check out our Valentine playlist if you're looking for even more fun. On the lower right side of my icing, we're blending this rose petal and the snickerdoodle, and we're going to blend just a 50-50 like we normally do, and that's going to be the very darkest part of our icing. With each of these hearts, you're just going to find your way as you work, and trust me, each one is going to look completely different and is going to evolve as you work on it. So once I have my shading on the lower portion and I've added some of that rose petal to the right of the heart, now I'm going to start adding some dimension and swirls. I'm working with the straight up pink, and then I decided to work with the same blend that we started with the base. What I like to do is firm those up on my felting mat by rolling them between my fingers and starting to build up some density. I roll these very loosely on the mat so they just build up some density, and then I just swirl them around on top of the icing, following something like the shape of the heart, but also kind of pretending that I had floating icing on top and then maybe I swirled some more. These are just going to serve as a base guide that you get to build your highlights and shadows on top of. So needle felt them down loosely, but you want them to start building up firmness. You just don't want them completely flat. Once I have all of that in place, I want to just get it compacted, but still firm with dimension. So if you do go in with your multi-noodle tool, just be mindful about it as you go so that you don't flatten everything out. If you've gone to this process so far, what you already have is some darker sides to the right, a little bit lighter just inside of that, and then some lighter off to the left along with dimension. It's on top of this that you can start to play and have fun with these hills and valleys. And what we used was our rose petal in the darkest areas, our lighter pink as a highlight, our cotton and pink blend as a highlight, and then very, very sparingly, we put a couple of touches of our CX2 white only on the highest ridges. This part is going to take you probably about as much time as you spent making the base cookie, but just have fun with it and let the hills and valleys that you created on your sugar cookie be the guide while considering where that light source is coming from. If you have hills across your entire icing, well, then you probably get a little bit of light across the entire highest points of your icing, but maybe not on the farthest right side like we have in our cookie. With this, you're always just going to go from what color you have, the next lightest color, the next lightest color. And again, just be very sparing with the white, the brightest white. I loved making these little hearts so much, and there's so many things you can do with them. Personally, I love making greeting cards, so I included in the kit a little template. You can print out the same card on a 4x6, and then we nested ours inside of a sheet of cute cardstock scrapbook paper. We glued a magnet onto the back, so this makes the heart really useful for someone to use on the refrigerator or something, and then we attached it to the card with a little glue dot. Another idea is that you can attach that heart to a gift bag, and you can use 2 magnets and just affix it that way, or you could tie it onto a gift tag or even sew on a ribbon and use it as a cute little hanging ornament. I hope you guys had fun doing this project with me. I'm kind of thinking maybe I'll turn mine into a headband for Valentine's. Maybe I'll get my Valentine's wish if I do. Thanks for playing with us today, y'all. We can't wait to see what you make. Definitely leave a comment down below. Let us know your favorite takeaway or maybe what you'll do with your needle felted hearts. We'll see you next time, and as always, happy felting. Like the cartoons. The cartoons are all.